What do you recommend to the people who deal with public diplomacy to do today?
First, it's really changed the whole communication between countries, diplomats, opinion makers, and the consumers. I think it's totally different these days. And I'm myself use Facebook and YouTube in order to deliver my messages to the listeners and the viewers. I think it's very good, and it shows that there are so many new clients or new consumers that would take this information, while if you will do it through the conservative media, there is no chance for them to know it.
As the Minister of Regional Cooperation, I'm talking about the young generations, the Israeli and the Palestinian. Do you have in your portfolio, do you have in your vision ways to bridge the gap between Israelis and Palestinians when we talk about the young generation?
Usually economy helps a lot to bridge the gaps. We noticed it with Egypt. When we signed the free trade agreement with Egypt, there were many demonstrations all over the country about that agreement with Israel, but for the first time it was not against the agreement with Israel, it was against the idea that their zones were excluded from that agreement. It shows that economy helps to ease the tension, to narrow the gaps, and of course it includes the young generation. The problem is that, like the Americans are saying, it takes two to tango, and these days we are doing all the cooperation through mediators, first and foremost Tony Blair and his team, and they are not willing to get engaged directly.
What are you going to talk about today at the conference?
That's what I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk about the fact that economy helps a lot to bridge the gaps. To give some examples, as I've said about Egypt, not only the free trade agreement, but the energy agreement that was signed between the two countries. And I think since then the relations are much better than they used to be before. And more than that, that the Palestinian economy is doing a huge development and huge progress. The last year of 2009, they reached 10% of growth, while most of the world faced negative growth or close to zero. So we chose that while we are helping them and they are willing to get that help, it helps most of the Palestinian people to enhance or to increase the standard of living there. We faced many industrial projects that we are trying to implement these days in Bethlehem, in Jalame next to Jenin, in Jericho.